Tate and Webb. Hey, guys. Thanks for coming by today. Hey, how are you now?
Doing good. You?
So, Al, ready for Shoresy? Are you excited?
Yes, that's why you're here. You see, I have a vision for the pod's future.
Of the produce stand? Like you're going to change it up? What you got in mind?
Okay, imagine a podcast for everything in the universe.
Yeah. So you say that every episode, Al. It's in the script.
Talking all the shows, not only Letterkenny, full on rebranding.
Cool. That sounds like fun. I guess our only question is, why are we here?
I'm glad you asked, Liz. What do you guys write for us each week, every show?
We write limericks.
And brilliantly, I might add, but I had a thought.
What kind of thought, Al? Matt getting tired of limericks?
Oh, no, it's not that. But limericks are it's just so Letterkenny. Now, think bigger, guys.
I got an idea. Tell us what you have in mind. We'll give it a go.
Okay, are you ready? Limericks out. Let's do haikus. No, hockey haikus.
I get it's Shoresy, but haikus about hockey? Yeah, we can do it.
Sure, but what about, the cultural thing? What's it again, Liz?
Appropriation? I'm half Japanese, you dork. Think we're in the clear.
This is excellent. I knew you guys would love this. Tate, Webb, are you ready? Good, because you're going.
You should do a new intro.
You should play it now.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
You heard the man. It's the Produce Stand, your favorite source for everything in the universe. I'm Al, your host. Tanya, Matt, and Victor are on the mics, and tonight we're talking some Shoresy Season 3. And just like Dolo, we're feeling blessed tonight to introduce tonight's guest panelist. She is a probate paralegal and tattoo enthusiast from Austin, Texas. Please give it up for Kat.
Who wants to set the tone, boys? Who's gonna fucking set it? Yeah! Whoa! Let's get on the go, boys! This team will never lose again.
Welcome to the Produce Stand, the new Produce Stand 2.0, Kat.
Hello.
So great to have you on, to finally meet you. I mean, you've been a patron for a while now, and I've seen your name, and we've been following you on Instagram and all your tattoo videos, and we're going to get to all of that in a second, but it's great to have you on. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So before we begin, I know it's a 2.0, but I got to ask the standard questions because it is your first time on the podcast. And first of all, where are you speaking to us from?
I am in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Amazing. And the cool part of Texas, we like to call it.
Exactly.
Now, you're in Austin, Texas. How the heck did you learn about either Letterkenny or Shoresy, whichever one? Which came first?
Letterkenny came first. One of the people that I follow on Twitter had posted the season 9 trailer.
Okay.
And I'd never heard of Letterkenny before, but I watched the trailer and I immediately put the show on my watch list. And I didn't get to it right away. It was probably about 6 months later. So I think it was June of 2021.
Okay.
I started from the beginning and just immediately loved it. Before I was even done with the first episode, I was texting my friend going, "Oh my God, have you seen Letterkenny? It's amazing."
Now, I mean, you're in Texas right now, but you're not from Texas. You've traveled around a bit. We kind of talked about that a little in the pre-show, but talk about some of the different places you've been.
So I was born in Chicago, and when I was still a baby, we moved to Hong Kong for 3 years. And then back to Illinois for a year, and then to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan for 4 years.
That's crazy.
And then we moved here to Austin just before I turned 10.
So you've been around, but I mean, Letterkenny must have been very foreign to you in terms of, although your years in Moose Jaw, I think you were a little young. That is kind of very rural Canada, but there's still a difference between Saskatchewan and Ontario. What drew you to the show?
When I saw that season 9 trailer, having never heard anything about the show before, I just loved all the wordplay. I thought it was hilarious and interesting. And just immediately from the get-go, I just loved the humor of the show.
All right. So, and when did you discover our podcast?
Right after the Jared Kiso interview, I saw the Bell Media release about it and immediately looked up the interview, listened to it, and then just went to episode 1 of the podcast and just binged it.
Wow.
Like multiple episodes a day, every day until I caught up.
So you're all caught up already.
I am.
That's almost 4 years worth of episodes that you just did in like a few months.
Yep.
That's crazy. Now, the other
and
thing,
you're not sick of us yet,
yeah.
I was a little sad when I like finally caught up, and I was like, "Oh no, not for the next one."
Oh no. I'm sure you have lots of questions and comments for all of us, especially Victor. But I alluded to this really quickly, but one of your things that you're known for, because Matt and I at least follow you on Instagram, is you're a tattoo enthusiast. You've got a lot of tattoos. Why? Like, what got you into tattoos?
I started getting tattoos long ago, but I just had gotten a few over the years. They were small, inconspicuous.
Sure.
And several years ago, I thought of a couple more that I wanted to get, and I didn't have a tattoo artist at the time,
right.
And kept trying to find a new artist, but every time I would find someone who looked promising, their books were closed, and I would give up, and eventually finally found a shop that was near my house and went in to get the first of the 2 tattoos I wanted. And then I just kept going back. And eventually I started going every single Friday.
Every Friday. I mean, because you've got tattoos like even on the palms of your hands. You just
on
recently.
The palms of my hands.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. All over. And I mean.
Have you ever counted?
Yeah.
No, I did for a while, but I stopped somewhere in the 40s.
Wow.
Jeez. I was joking about this in the pre-show, but I hope your tattoo artist has, a punch card so you get like every 10th one free, because I feel like you're giving them a lot of business.
Well, they deserve it. They're amazing. They're actually the reason I'm still in Austin. I had been planning to move to Pennsylvania,
right.
And then I started going to this shop, ended up becoming friends with all 3 of the artists because I'm there every week, and then started becoming friends with some of the other regular clients. And I have this huge friend group here, and I decided not to move.
Yeah. It's
my
amazing.
God,
You want to give them a shout out? Do you want to give them some,
Yes. Noble Jackals Tattoo in Austin, Texas.
There you go. Noble
They are
Jackals.
the best.
So
Noble Jackals.
Any of our listeners live in the Austin area and want to get a good tattoo, that's where you should go. Noble Jackals. Amazing.
So what are you going to do? And I want to say hi because we haven't really met yet. Hi. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm so intrigued. Like what are you thinking of doing when you run out of space? Like, are you just going to start coloring things in?
Well, there will be touch-ups, and I'm racking my brain trying to think of more places I could get tattooed, but I'm basically fully covered. So I think tomorrow's appointment is going to be the last new tattoo, and then I'll just be down to touch-ups and maybe a little filler here and there. But I'm still going to hang out at the shop every Friday because that's what I do.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
How do you take care of the ones that are on your hands? Because I have a friend that has one on the back of his hand and it's smudged a little bit.
Yeah, the hands are tricky. We've had to touch up the ones that I already have on my hands. But usually just one touch up and then they're fine. But they're a little harder to heal because you're just constantly using them, washing them. And
now there are a lot of people who say, talk about the most painful parts of your body to have tattoos, like the back of the knee or the elbow or whatever. What would you say was the most painful one you got?
Probably on my left arm.
Okay.
This kind of half sleeve when we added all of this black and on my elbow and around my elbow.
Right.
That one was pretty painful, but for the most part, I don't really think tattoos hurt.
Oh,
and
well, there you go.
They tell me I am an alien.
It must be relaxing.
It is relaxing. Sometimes I have to force myself not to take a nap.
What's your longest session that you've sat for?
Probably about 4 hours.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, you're here
I'm
today.
jealous.
Well, we welcome you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get this rig rolling.
Successful.
Tonight's lineup is going to be Tanya, myself, Matt, Victor, and then Kat will have the last word as our guest. Tanya, how have you been?
I've been well, I think. I feel maybe. I don't know. It's been a week. It's the end of June, like blink and it's done again.
It's
and
crazy.
July 1st is Canada Day. So this is our long weekend. Like that's that. School's over. Exams were rough. I feel like I took them, even though I didn't. I feel like I studied enough, and
You sure did. I feel like you studied more than our son did.
I might have actually just maybe even passed a little bit for grade 11 physics, which I never took my first pass through for high school. But I feel like I could maybe have nailed that one. Yeah, maybe not very well, but like maybe a little bit. So that, thank God, is over because that was not fun. This week, other than that and school, we're getting ready for family to come and visit us, which is always a blast. Looking forward to that. I'm still rocking a sore foot and trying to find different ways to get to what I want to do and still not let it stop me. So that is my next new challenge, is to figure out how to vacation and walk mass distances without walking.
Tanya might be rocking a kneeling scooter for our vacation.
I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but I'm going to figure something out. So yeah. And I'm looking forward to, I have my specialist appointment coming up in mid-July. So hoping, fingers crossed, that there's a good solution there for that, because it is getting quite challenging. It's been like, 6 months? It's been stupid long, and I can't wait to walk again, like proper walk. So looking forward to that. But pretty much that's it, I think. We got into a new show. Oh no, it's the show that Victor recommended. This is us. Yeah. It's just, lovely. Love the show so far. And thank you so much, Victor, for that. And happy birthday to Victor.
That's right.
Yes.
I hadn't wished him a happy birthday yet because it wasn't my turn, but I was going to. And Matt hasn't yet. So
Matt,
it's on my paper.
Didn't you get my message?
I was first one to message in our group this morning.
Yes, you were.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. All right. I've had an eventful week. This weekend we had our the Weekends band had our annual show that we look forward to all the time at the marina up in Aurelia. It's an outdoor show that we do for a marina, and like a bunch of like on a floating barge facing a bunch of boats and stuff. It's a really cool show, except that this weekend it didn't fucking stop raining all weekend, and it was a miserable day. We had just enough time to set up, play maybe a 90-minute set, tear down, and get the hell out of there. And normally we would be there from 6 p.m. until midnight, playing 4 sets, 4 hours of music. And it didn't happen this time. So that was kind of not fun. But we got it done. We we made the most of it, and the folks were still happy with with the show we put on. Then Monday, I ended up spending half the day in the ER with some chest pains and stuff, and everything's fine. Tests came back negative, and I was okay. Might have just been like a pulled muscle or something from the weekend's events. Who knows? But I got it checked out, and everything's good. But let me tell you, I hate I know the ER is no fun for anyone, but it's been a long time, and I hope it's a long time before I have to go back, because it's no fun. And then today I went to Toronto Mike's listening experience. It also his 50th birthday, and there was, I don't know, close to 100 people there, and everyone got fed free pasta and free beer, and I got to see Miriam. Miriam was there, and she's looking good and good spirits and looking strong, and we're all pulling for Miriam, and it was great to give her a hug today, and Juan as well. And I ran into Ian Service and YYZ Gorge. So even though it was the Toronto Mike event, there was a lot of D-Gen representation. So it was great. And then I raced home just in time to be with you guys tonight, because I've been looking forward to this. I hope you guys like the opening. By the way, shout out to Tate and Webb. That opening, yes, it was amusing. It was also all haikus. The entire opening was a string of haikus. They wrote it. Amazing job. So kudos. I want to make sure that they get their flowers because that was so well done. Matt, you're up.
First, couldn't agree more. Tate & Webb absolutely slayed it. It was so fun to read. I got a preview of that before, and I loved it. So shout out, guys. It's amazing work. My week, honestly, I don't remember most of it. I've been tired. It's been along with school's all wrapped up on all 3 kids, so that's been fun. My youngest ended on a bang by cursing and swearing at his teacher yesterday, and he's 4, so that's fun. And then kicking and screaming today on his very last day. So yeah, that was fun. But he's done now, so welcome home for the summer, little man. The Bear's back.
I know. Have you seen it yet?
Oh, it just started today. So
I've already watched 2 episodes. I won't say much.
It got a bit of a bad review from I think it was Variety or
I saw that
one of those newspapers.
Variety.
Was it Variety?
Yeah, Variety had some headlines saying, I don't know, it didn't sound very good. Anyways, what I've seen so far, I like.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm a big fan of that show, so I'm psyched it's back. The other big news this week, and I'm still digesting and figuring out how to navigate this one, is my oldest, he's 13 now, has found Pornhub. So
that's right. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, Matt.
No, laugh.
Oh,
laugh.
no.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
I don't know. I completely am. Maybe I've just been naive to how easy content is to access. And he's got a phone, and I do the dad thing. So from time to time, because he is connected to my phone, I will just kind of peek in. And I don't read anything. I just check his random search history just to make sure everything's copacetic. And for the longest time, nothing. Like I think at one point, the worst thing I found was him looking up how to make Dunkaroos at home. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then out of nowhere this past weekend, I'm like, let me take a glance. And there it is, just lined up, site after link after link after link after link. He found it all. So Jen and I were scrambled. We're like, oh fuck, how do we handle this? Because I did address it because I didn't have a chance of a full conversation. I did address it. And I let him know that I'm aware and that we're going to be having a bigger conversation about this and understanding it a little bit better, because he needs to understand this is not realistic. This is like, he's only 13. This is not real life. This is, in most people's lives, this is not real life. But anyway, so I want to have a proper conversation, but you should have seen his face. So I bumped into him in the morning after we had figured it all out. I was about to take him to school with his brother, so I only had about a 30-second chance to just acknowledge it.
Just to scare the shit of him, really.
Just to scare the shit of him. So he made some comment and he used the word butt, and I can't remember why. I'm like, oh, speaking of butts, and he's like, what? I'm like, I think you forgot one vital fact about your phone, bud. He's like, what's that? I'm like, it's connected to mine. He's like, oh. I'm like, you've been doing some interesting searching. And you saw his face just go white. He knew. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, a little bit too young there, bud. We're gonna have a bigger talk when you get back here. And he just like, okay. He kind of laughed and walked away. I'm like, yep. And I've checked. He hasn't searched anything since. So
well, he's using his burner for that.
Yeah, he's got a burner for sure. Yeah.
13-year-old with a burner. Oh man.
Anyway, again, he's 13. I mean, I was looking at whatever at 13, but like the access to content was wild, right? Like,
I found my dad's porn magazine stash when I was probably 10
there was like
or
Hustlers
11.
and Playboys and then the fuzzy screens that you kind of look to see if you could make out what was going on.
Yeah, we called them the Picassos. Yeah, they were scrambled.
I will never ever forget that moment. I remember my parents got one of those gigantic satellite dishes, like back in the 1990s. It was gigantic, and we didn't have a TV guide yet, so my friend and I stayed up all night pressing each and every satellite and going through all 24 channels. And then the next morning, because I'm too stupid to not to say anything, I remember telling my parents, did you know that there's a move called the hamburger? It's where the woman is in the middle and the two guys are on either side. And I called it the hamburger. I thought I was like fantastic. I was like naming things, and no, those satellites quickly became unavailable.
Yeah. And I'm loving all the chatter here in the group chat here. Remember when we waited 30 minutes for a pic that didn't move? Like this is what we first came into when the internet first became alive.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm dealing with that, and we consider us pretty cool parents, so we'll address it and make light of it, but at the same time make sure he understands what it is and sort of setting expectations. But
Sure, yeah.
anyways, that's a new obstacle that I'm navigating. So welcome to my week.
Well,
Fun.
good luck.
Victor.
Good luck.
Oh, I thought you're next, Al. Are you sure?
I already said mine. I remember I spent the Monday in the hospital and all that shit. And by the way, happy birthday, Victor.
Fuck, damn it. Happy birthday. I even wrote it on the paper. Fucking porn brain.
That is awesome.
It was
all right,
the porn.
let's see.
The porn threw him off.
God, I'm useless.
How was my week? So we awarded the Stanley Cup. That was fun. Even though
condolences to our buddy Jay, but kudos to our buddy Tom.
That's right. That's right. I mean, Canada lost, but it's all mostly Canadian players in Florida anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was nice to see Luongo hoist the cup.
If you say so.
So for that,
I'm eating pasta out of it.
I mean,
today.
how could they not win? They had God singing the national anthem. So
you took that from Risky, didn't you?
yeah. So anyway, so that happened. What else happened this week? My daughter came by last weekend and she played. So we're working on the song together. If you guys remember, a long time ago, I think I shared it on one of our socials, like this song that I wrote about Pumpkin last year, or with Pumpkin when she passed.
Wait, you wrote a song with Pumpkin? Your cat?
Well, kind of. Yeah, you don't remember. You don't remember nothing. So it was called The Voyage, and I shared it with you guys. It was just kind of a rough recording of me on my guitar. But yeah, the last couple of weeks she wasn't doing well, right? So and it was just we were just sitting together, just sitting together, right? Just enjoying the moments, and we knew there wasn't going to be much time, and so I was just sitting there with my guitar and just. The song kind of came, she was my muse, and together we kind of, it all kind of came together just the day before she passed. And so that happened, and I shared with my daughter, and then she completely redid it. And she's putting lyrics to it right now, and it's going to be incredible. So that was really nice. It was really nice to kind of spend the weekend with her that way. And, I'm looking forward to see how it all turns out. So that's really cool. What else? Oh yeah. So yesterday was my birthday. So we went out and I had my, the meal, connection to Cat here, since it's Hong Kong style.
It looked like fried alien or something like that.
Yeah. Awesome had a great comment. Like she's saying, why are you eating an extraterrestrial? This is why humanity will perish. But that was nice, and got some nice gifts. Got a New Jersey jersey, and Tricella, which is a Georgian delight. Let's see what else. Oh, got my Kievsky cake, which is the best cake in the world from Kiev.
Better than black velvet or red velvet. Sorry,
you should just wash your mouth out with black velvet or red velvet. For saying that. Anyway, I mean, they're not even the same conversation.
Okay, Victor. Yeah,
they're not even the same languages.
I'm now regretting trying to get a rise out of Victor. Go on.
You poked the bear, man.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and then today we found out we need a new furnace and air conditioner and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be spending a lot of money on that stuff.
Well, on the bright side, the heat wave's over, so you're not suffering.
The heat wave, the time is right. So guys coming over tomorrow morning, and it will all get fixed. But pockets will be a little leaner after that. Anyway, so and then we're starting this whole new season. I guess is this like a new season of our podcast? I feel like it is, right?
This is TPS part 2.
Yeah.
Part
yeah,
one
so
was like almost 4 years. Now we're into part 2. So there you go.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And Kat, like you're the first one.
Mhm.
That's very exciting.
know.
And Kat, how have you been?
I've been good. My week has been pretty uneventful. Good, but uneventful. This is like the big event of my week right here.
Oh, wow.
But I moved house a couple months ago. So for the last couple months, I've just kind of been getting settled in. And Victor, I feel your pain. I had to replace the air conditioner and the water heater and most of the plumbing, the siding. It's been a lot. So I feel your pain.
The joys of new home ownership, right?
Yes, but it's good. It's been a good change. I really like it.
All right. Well, why don't we get this ball rolling then with what's coming up here?
Previously.
Last week, our buddy Tobias joined us to kick out his top 10 Letterkenny jams. Shout out and happy birthday to Toronto Mike. This week, we begin our coverage of Shoresy Season 3, beginning with Episode 1, 4 to 6. Tanya, are you ready?
Good, because I'm going.
Matt, are you ready?
Yes.
Victor, are you ready?
It is.
Kat, are you ready?
I'm going.
All right.
Good, because you're fucking going. Yeah! Let's get on the go, boys.
We
should have prepped us a little more for that one.
We open. You should know. You should know what the answer to that question is. Come on. We open with the song "Do It" live by Death from Above, and the title card that reads "Last Season on Shoresy." And we get a recap from the previous season delivered by Nat. She reminds us that it was a dream season. The Blueberry Bulldogs went undefeated, 24-0, after going almost entirely winless the year before, a no-show record. Then things got better when they won their bid to host the senior national tournament. But after their perfect season, the playoffs didn't go exactly as planned, and cut to Shoresy in the title screen. Then the beautiful song Blues Run the Game by Laura Marling begins playing. We see the Blueberry Bulldogs kneeling on the ice in their rink, watching the Sioux Hunt celebrate winning the no-show championship in their barn. And then we cut to the handshake line as the Bulldogs congratulate their opponent. Then cut to the Sluts once again kneeling on the ice, looking dejected as the camera slowly zooms in on Shoresy. And then we immediately cut to Shoresy sobbing loudly in the locker room.
Say, I'm so dumb.
Shoresy calls the team a bunch of fucking losers. All the other players just sit there quietly. Production note. It's important to note that many of the players have a strip of their head shaved down the middle, like kind of like reverse mohawks a la Keith Flint from The Prodigy, only not as cool. Sanguinet walks in and tries to console his team. He grabs a stick from the freezer.
Nothing worse than losing to the Yanks.
In our own fucking barn.
Especially our own barn.
I know what to say for the best, Boz.
Cap. Nah.
Maybe there ain't no best to it.
But just because we lost, doesn't mean this shouldn't be a game stick. Giddy, you played through a separated shoulder. Dolo, foot fracture.
Never see a team so hurt as this by the Lord Jesus.
Fish, you came back from a skate laceration to the neck. Shoresy, you came back from a concussion in the first round, and you played through a torn groin and a hip pointer.
What happens with the hip pointer?
Can't push when you shit.
You were the leader this team needed. Shoresy, game stick goes to you, my man.
The players all clap. This makes Shoresy wail even louder, but not because of the love he's getting from his teammates. He brought the Sluts in because everyone was acting like bitches, and now they're acting like bitches too.
Look, we just lost to the Yanks. You're all acting like you want to eat each other's pussies. Like you're opening a second bottle of wine with your gal pal.
My son.
I just want to fucking lift my head right now because you're probably all giving each other ski pulls.
Come on, Shoresy, say something positive.
Fucking Summerfeld's dog mom wasn't licking her lips at me all fucking night for one.
Okay.
Fucking Briggsy's fat sister isn't looking as ugly as when she tried to fuck me 2 years ago.
Shoresy.
Fucking Michael's ex-sweetie flashed me her bird and I thought it was an accident, but now I don't think it was.
Hey! What about Phillips? He had the game of his life.
Who?
Phillips.
That's Philip.
No, it isn't.
What do you think that is?
I don't fucking know.
Shoresy, the boys are hurt.
It's fucking hockey! You go to you can't go no more!
Shoresy storms out, leaving the players to sit there, feeling shame. Dolo suggests they go to the bar. Goody says they should get drunk. Fish wants clarification. How drunk exactly? Michaels adds, like, no-show record party drunk? We cut to quick shots of the team celebrating the no-show record, shots of them drinking on the bus, posing with the trophy, jumping in the pool, presumably wearing nothing but swim trunks or underwear, and then cut back to the locker room. Sanguinette doesn't think they should get that drunk again. And production note, every time we cut to the shots of the no-show record celebration, and they will many times in this episode, the song that's playing is Rio de Janeiro by the artist Trop Killers and Sango. Next scene, Meeg and Zieg are in Nat's office trying to console their boss. Well, at least Meeg is.
This is unfortunate, pathetic, a real cunt. We're hosting the National Senior Tournament in a week.
We're beat up from the feet up.
7 days rest can go a long way. We're supposed to be there because we're the best team.
Now we're only there because we're the host team.
So the host team gets in automatically. Look at it as good fortune. We're the team that gets in on a formality.
We're throw-ins.
Doesn't matter how you get to the dance, you just gotta get there. We're filler.
Freeloaders.
Nat. When they see the Sudbury guys, do you think anyone's gonna look at them and say, uh-oh, won't get any respect?
Sometimes you have to demand it. Yo, last year we wanted to win one game. This year we won them all. Now we have a chance to win the whole country. Cash in. We've got a week to get these guys over this loss and refocused for the National Senior Tournament. We've got to get him healed.
Nat's glad there won't be much fighting in the tournament. Zieg thinks there's still senior whale shit hockey, so there'll probably be plenty of fighting. Meeg implores Nat to go check on Shoresy. Zieg wants to know when he's going to start chipping in on the score sheet. Nat responds that Shoresy always finds a way to contribute. Shoresy can't handle losing. Nat says, show me someone who can, and she'll show you a loser. Nat decides they need to get drunk. Zieg asks for clarification. How drunk? Meeg adds, no-show record party drunk? Cut to more pictures of the no-show record celebration. Then back to Nat, who responds, she doesn't think they should ever get that drunk again. Scene 3, set to the song Sunday by Danny Towers featuring Puya. Shoresy sitting alone in the locker room, still in his hockey gear. Cut to the sluts headed to the townhouse to drink away their sorrows. Nat, Meeg, and Zieg are also there. The sluts sit at the bar quietly, drinking beers and shots. Just then, the bar erupts in noise as the Sioux Hunt players barge in, celebrating their win, carrying a well-dented trophy. They go up to the bar right next to where the sluts are seated, slam the trophy on the bar, and start taunting the sluts. Big, ugly Palmer offers them a chance to give the trophy a hoist. Delaney joins in on the chirping. Schnurr tells his players to quit the chirping. The sluts just sit there taking it. Goody tells them to drink their beer. Cut to Nat's table. Sanguinette joins them. Meeg offers to get bouncers, but Nat says they don't need them, hoping to see a little fight from her guys. Back at the bar, chirping from Palmer and Delaney continues, with Schnurr feebling, asking his guys to cool it. The sluts don't respond. Nat, Meeg, Zieg wonder what's wrong with them. Scene 4, cut to Shoresy in his apartment with Sanguinette. He's fucking hurt. He's fucking real hurt. Sanger asks if it's his head or his hand. No to both. It's his heart. Sanger asks him if he's hurt or injured.
We're the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You gotta leave it behind you, my guy.
Game 7. In our barn.
We focus. We're going to the National Senior Tournament.
Yes, fucking honorable mentions. There's runner-ups.
Runners up.
There's the guys who didn't earn it. It's embarrassing.
The sluts are in the kitchen looking at girls on the internet because, well, they had a sec. Hitch tells Shoresy he needs a break after the hit he took in the first round. Shoresy should be out 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6?
4 to 6, Mobono.
Just because I can't push when I shit, you think it's 4 to 6?
Settle down.
Shoresy gets defensive, says Goody is hurt worse than him. He's got his arm in a sling. Goody corrects Shoresy. It's a holster. Hitch says to Dolo, Dolo's hurt worse than Goody. This gets Dolo's back up. They continue to argue over who's more 4 to 6, also known as injured. Sanguinette just sits there looking more and more annoyed at the conversation. Shoresy says it doesn't matter. They're all fucking losers anyway. Sanguinette's had enough. He storms out of the apartment, slamming the door and disturbing Big Sexy. Hitch finally proposes they have a walking competition to figure out which one of them is the most 4 to 6. Cut to Meeg and Zieg in Nat's office. They're having the same conversation about who's the most hurt.
Shoresy really got his bell rung in the first round.
Just fucking goes the second round.
He got trucked.
Maybe it'll make him less stubborn.
Won't make him less stupid.
The Bulldogs management gets started with their scouting of their upcoming opponents for the senior tournament. Meanwhile, back at Shoresy's apartment, the sluts lay down the ground rules for their walking competition.
Well, can I premise it by saying something first?
Premise?
Huh?
What do you mean premise?
I want to...
Like what, premise? You tell us junk, eh?
Preface.
You want to ruin a good piece of toast.
How do you... Well, you wants to say something before you walks, right?
I was going to say a few words, yeah.
Okay, well, you wants to preface it.
So, I meant to say preface, but I said premise?
That's what you did, boy.
Oh my God. What an idiot, eh?
Good, moving on.
Good thing no chick saw that.
Settle down. I dies at you, boy.
Well, I guess I'm going to preface my walk by saying, and I'm sure you've all noticed this before, I have one leg shorter than the other.
By how much?
By about 2 inches.
2 inches?
Inch and a half, 2 inches, yeah.
No, but I never knew that, old man.
Well, I try not to make a big deal of it. Try not to let it get in my way, get me down. But if you notice something in my walk, it's probably that.
Rosie?
I don't have to talk while I'm doing it or anything, right?
No, but go.
You want me to rush you when you're walking?
Reste le pueblo, guy.
Let's have a little etiquette in here, boys. A little sportsmanship here now.
Shoresy finally takes his walk, then turns around, walks back while reminding the others of his shorter leg. When he's done, Dolo is the first to judge. His diagnosis is 4 to 6. This upsets Shoresy. Just because he can't push when he shits, Goody informs him that he walks like he had his shit pushed. Hitch knew Shoresy would be looking 4 to 6, but he didn't think he'd be looking that 4 to 6. Cut to the Bulldogs management. Meeg starts the scouting report saying there are 6 teams from all over Turtle Island representing Western Canada, Eastern Canada, Quebec, Northern Ontario, Southern Ontario, and them. Up first, repping Western Canada from the province of Alberta, home of treaties 6, 7, and 8, are the Brooks Barrelmen. Now, production note here, a treaty is an agreement made between the Canadian government, Indigenous groups, and often different provinces that define ongoing rights and obligations on both sides. So whenever you hear treaties, that's a one way of kind of identifying different reserves, different Indigenous reserves according to their agreements with the local government. Anyway, here's Meeg's scouting report on the Brooks Barrelmen.
From the heart of Cowman Country, Canada, for these guys, it's hockey all winter, rodeo all summer. They're tie-down ropers, steer wrestlers, and of course, bull and bronco riders.
You've got to be certifiable for that sport.
Stupid tough.
According to the scouting report, they kind of are.
Tough?
Stupid.
How stupid?
Time will tell. If we're talking notable players, we're talking the Friesen twins, a.k.a. the Freezer twins.
Why Freezer?
Because they're built like large appliances.
These guys played Team Canada rugby for 4 years, so needless to say, they like to hit. Keep your head up around these guys, or you know what'll happen.
Before I move on, there was a question here about what Turtle Island is. And I'm sorry, I probably should have mentioned this too. So Turtle Island is what many Indigenous groups call North America, like all of North America, not just Canada and the US, because they don't see the divisions like we do. They don't recognize Canada and US. They recognize where they're from, and that's Turtle Island, which is all of North America. And because of it resembles a turtle somehow on the map. But yeah, Turtle Island is all of North America. Cut back to Shoresy's apartment. The walking contest continues. It's Dolo's turn, who, if you remember, played on a broken foot. Dolo walks very gingerly and holds his breath and grimaces the entire time. Who's looking 4 to 6 now, Shoresy wonders. Hitch agrees. Goody thinks Dolo is more 4 to 6 than Shoresy. Dolo argues he didn't really warm up. Hitch complains they still don't really know who's the 4 to 60th. Back in Nat's office, next up on the scouting report is...
Representing Eastern Canada from Prince Edward Island, the Charlottetown Reds.
PEI, Mi'kmaq territory.
Not unlike folks from Newfoundland, Prince Edward Islanders have some unique speech.
Example?
Ever seen the Prince Edward Island Encyclopedia on YouTube?
What's going on?
I'll fucking flatten you, young buck.
Well, I'm gonna come to your house to slam your fucking cupboards.
Nice kit bag there, big nuts.
I'll beat you like you're on a fishing trip with your father.
Easy there, George Clooney. Where'd the cows die? Who the fuck are you?
What's been the fucking right here, man?
Noted. Most of these guys are commercial fishermen. Out on the Atlantic for days on end, fishing for herring, mackerel, crab. They know hard work. But a handful of them are owners-operators of what many call the best seafood shack on Prince Edward Island. Serving up fresh shucked oysters, seafood chowder, and their signature lobster rolls.
I'm hungry. So who are we watching for?
These guys play as a unit. No one-man shows. Beware, they're pedal to the rug for a full 60. Hard fucking workers. But a standout in another sense would be the gorgeous Gord Gallant. This guy makes panty soup.
Ew.
He soaks Uggs.
Production note here, the Prince Edward Island Encyclopedia is a YouTube series by an account called Chicken Turtle Horse. So check that out if you want more of those kinds of videos. They're pretty amusing. Nat asks Zeke if she's, because of the whole panty soup line, Nat asks Zeke if she's entering a dink phase. She neither confirms nor denies it. Meeg asks her when was the last time she dated a hockey player. Zeke reminds her, you don't date sluts, you just take them down. Aside from all of that, the word on this team is that they're just really nice. Back to Shoresy's apartment. Sanguinette rejoins the sluts in time for the end of their walking competition. Next up is Goody, who, if you recall, has his arm in a holster. But nothing seems to be wrong with his legs. He doesn't hesitate to strut his stuff, and this discourages the others. They didn't think he'd be that good at walking. Hitch ain't never seen anybody walk so good as that. Shoresy congratulates Goody on his impressive walking. He is the least 4 to 6.
No, Dolo.
With his
Hitch.
busted arm.
We're runner-ups again.
Runners up.
Yep. Lost the no-show cup. Now we lost the walking competition. May as well be eating solo paninis.
Why?
We're fucking losers.
Never seen a team with so many injuries as this, boys. By the Lord Jesus.
Think anyone's gonna see the Bulldogs and say, "Uh-oh"? No fucking way.
Sanguinette has had enough listening to this, and he gets up and storms out again. Scene 6, cut to an episode of Questionable Call. Bro Dude Energy Drink has been granted exclusive broadcast rights to the National Senior Hockey Tournament. They continue the breakdown of the competing teams, starting with Nick's hometown province, representing La Belle Province, Les Rapides de Rodon.
Representing Quebec at this year's tournament is Les Rapides de Rodon. Quebec is home to the toughest league in hockey, and make no mistake, Les Rapides are the toughest. Pierre-Luc Leblond, Danick Paquette, and Steve Bussy.
LeBlanc fought the toughest guys in the show when goons were still in the game.
Paquette's face looks like it was carved out of wood.
If you think you recognize Bossé from the YouTube knockout videos, you probably recognize him from the UFC as well. He's 12-2-0.
Someone else fans may recognize is the team owner, Quebec pop icon, Marie-Mé. The multi-platinum artist and Cab Darling is also a hockey fan. One of the things worth mentioning to fans, she was once engaged to JJ Frankie JJ.
Production note, Marie-Mé is a Canadian singer, producer, and actress from Montreal. So she is, that is her real name, and she is a singer. As far as I can tell, she does not own a hockey team and has probably never been engaged to JJ Frankie JJ. Now, to round out the tournament scouting report, we have one final team.
Representing Southern Ontario, coming from the city with the most Italian Canadians per capita in the country, the Von Canadesi.
Can only imagine there were a few Italians on the team, Anik.
Actually, Jay, every single one. Ferrari, Ferrera, Ferraro, Barbieri, Barberio, Barbara, Di Benediti, Diodato, Di Domenico. You get the idea. These guys play the game hard, fast, and emotional.
So who are we looking for, Nick?
Number 98, Marco Silvestri.
Sly Silvestri?
What, you know him?
I used to be in Boston System for a while.
And?
He could pick the prosciutto out of your teeth with his stick.
More of a pancetta guy.
So he loves the lumber.
Oh, he'll be the dirtiest player in the tournament.
Good matchup for Shoresy.
I'm hearing Shoresy's hurt.
The man doesn't like to be outdone.
But does anyone really care?
We'll find out soon, as the best teams in Canada descend on Sudbury today.
Next scene 7, cut to Shoresy at work, reffing. Liam and Corey are giving him the gears about the upcoming tournament and how hurt they are.
Oh, you're fucking hilarious, Liam. Things get rough, just throwing your band-aids at them. You too, Corey, you're so fucking funny. Squirt him with some polysporin. Like the funniest guys who ever lived.
Why aren't you laughing?
Don't worry, Liam, I don't laugh at your mom's jokes either, and every time she's like, what? I'm funny. I don't laugh at your mom's jokes either, Cord. Every time she's like, be nice to me. Regular season league record only blowed in playoffs. Must sting. A little bit, Cord. Any regrets? My only regret is not serving my country. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and I think about it every time I go to war on your mom's ass.
I love that line. Scene 8, cut to the montage of teams arriving in Sudbury for the tournament. Next scene, cut to the townhouse. Bulldogs management are sitting at a table having drinks. Sanguinette sits alone at another table waiting for his captains. The sluts finally arrived with nothing but complaints about the cold and their injuries. Sanguinette puts an end to all the complaining. He tells them they've lost their identity as hockey players. Hitch starts making excuses again, but Sanguinette cuts him off.
Hockey players don't make excuses. You play for the logo on the front, not the name on the back. You play for your city and for your teammates. You win for them. No excuses.
You could barely walk. I could barely lift my arm.
Never let them know you're hurt.
You're the leaders of this team, and look at you. One's in a sling, one's limping around. You're crying about being cold. Give your balls a tug. You're hockey players. Never let them know you're hurt. Shoresy, you're the captain of this team. Why do we lose to the Yanks?
No excuses.
You hurt?
Go to you can't go no more.
And why you all like...
We didn't earn it.
Doesn't matter how you get to the dance. You just gotta get there.
Yeah, and then what, Sanguinet?
Then find that fuck you attitude. You went down to the Yanks, took them 7 games, but you lost. You're right. Maybe you shouldn't be here. But you can't look at the rear view and the road at the same time. You're the best team in the history of the no-show. You're record holders. 24 wins, 0 losses. A perfect season. So you've got 2 options. You can sit around and cry about losing to the Yanks in the playoffs, or find that fuck you attitude and beat them on the national stage. Shoresy, think you can find it?
Just in walks Palmer, Delaney, and Schnurr from the Sioux Hunt. They sit at a table across the bar, but yell chirps at the sluts. They're sitting in the runner-ups section. At first, there's no return from the sluts. Nat, Meeg, Zieg look on as the scene unfolds. Then Shoresy finally says something.
It's runners up, not runner ups. Dumb fucking cunts.
Call it what you want, bud. You're Dawson's. You're fucking extras.
Ton of hockey left, boys. Ton of hockey left.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Found it.
Shut the fuck up, Delaney, you fucking cokehead.
What are you gonna do?
You've done too many speedballs, bud.
Piece of shit. Fuck you, man.
What's that you were saying about respect again, Meek? Sometimes you have to demand it.
What are you gonna do? You're in a sling, goody.
Come here and find out.
What are you gonna do?
What the fuck are you
You're not gonna fucking do anything.
Won't see much fighting in this tournament, eh, Nat?
Let's fucking see it.
Think we have a chance of winning this thing?
They look ready to me.
Let's talk, let's go. Come on. What do you got?
Are you gonna do something?
Dog hockey, baby.
Gorgeous Gord Gallant from Charlottetown, and one of his teammates witnesses the melee. He takes one look at the sluts and says, The argument escalates, and then Shoresy picks up a stool and hurls it at the guys from the Sioux, just as we cut to black. All right, that is the episode. Now, if you guys remember how this goes, Tanya doesn't, which is great because she's first in line here.
Yeah, why am I first?
You just are.
That was by design.
So talk about this episode. Don't give any ratings yet, just what you thought of it initially. Go.
Me? Yeah. So the episode, it was the first of
it's going to be one of those. You sound like me doing a book report in high school. Where the red fern grows is about a red fern, and where it grows.
She's double spacing already.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was I had some Letterkenny feels while I was watching it. Which was fun. I liked the pace that it was taking. It was good. There's nothing that was that really made me fall off my seat. I don't know whether I was in the mood for falling off my seat or not, but it was a good episode. I particularly liked the drink reference that they came back to, I believe 2-3 times, of how drunk
the party
do the guys need to get. I was a little disappointed that when Nat and Schnurr that would not be a good boyfriend name. I was a little disappointed that when they were in the bar together, there was no like glance or like, the little.
You don't date sluts, you just take them down.
I know, but there was like no hot passion kind of glance. Like there
was because when Schmier was the only civilized of the group, that was basically, I think, him paying respect to Nat.
Sure.
I think that was just him being respectful. That's all.
Well, no, I don't know. I think,
but you know that like when she saw him for the first time and she was like, weak in the knees and staring off in space. Like, I don't need that kind of a reaction.
No, because she already scratched that itch.
I know, but a reaction.
No longer itchy.
You're too much of a romantic.
I might be. I was thinking about Victor a lot during this episode, thinking, I don't really see much hockey in this one. and I was wondering if he'd be disappointed in that. There was a wee bit when Shoresy was on the ice with the boys. I again love that banter because I always think about them doing lines with their parents or with their moms.
Liam and
Corey.
Yeah, Corey's mom, or like Bork Kazabon's mom had to say, "When I go to war on your mom's ass."
I know.
Think about that. Just think about that.
I can't watch any of those scenes without thinking of the moms and without thinking, and like when I was helping our son with his exam, I was thinking, flash forward into the future, and if I need to run lines with him, I'm like this is what moms do.
Yeah, you'd be all over that. And Owen would be like, "Mom, you're enjoying this a little way too much."
That would be so much fun. Yeah,
soon
so
Matt is going to be running lines with his son.
Yeah.
Better running lines than doing lines.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
it was a good episode. I liked Meeg doing the review of all the teams. I liked the walking competition, the 6 if they're off 4 to 6. The premise, that they need to stop whining and just get on with it. It was good.
Okay. All right. So in the past, I've always, given the first episode of both the first 2 seasons of Shoresy kind of lower ratings, just because it's kind of, it's setting things up, and especially last season where it's like the stakes last season were, are you going to be the best team, or are you going to be the best team ever? And I didn't feel like there was much there. I really liked the way this one began, because it kind of took that and flipped it on its head, because yes, they were the best team ever for the regular season, but they lost in the 7th game to the Sioux in their own rink. And I love that. So now we have some adversity. Now we have something to fight for. I'm loving the stakes in this season so far. Well set up. Bravo. Shout out, somebody in the live stream had a shout out, and I echo the shout out for the jersey designs for all of the teams in this tournament. Well done to I think it's Matt and Danny, the design team on that cast, or that crew, for some fire designs. I especially like the Canadese, the Vaughn Canadese shirts. They were really fun. I love, they're setting up some great, season long arcs. What about this party that they're always alluding to? What the hell's with the shaved reverse mohawks, and the setup of the tournament? So you know what? This, as for a season 1 of an episode 1 of a season, they did everything they were supposed to do. I thought the walking competition was a little silly. Finding out who's the 4 to 6iest, but okay, whatever. It was funny, especially when they were so impressed about how well Goody walked when there was nothing wrong with his legs. And yeah, the music was fire in this episode too. So yeah, those are my notes so far. Matt.
Yeah, I actually agree with most of what you said. I love the setup on this season so far. They introduce a lot's going on and a lot of things to look forward to. The shaved head and the no-show party. To me, I love it. I'm intrigued. I'm like, what is this? They're giving hints at it. It reminded me a lot of the same bit they did with the calendars in season 2.
Yeah.
Where they kind of like hinted at them, kept talking about them. They do it for several episodes, and then they unveil sort of the shoot, right? So it's like they took that bit to the next level and introduced a party is kind of how I took it. And I'm for it. So I like what's going on.
What I loved about the shaved head thing is they don't even acknowledge it. Like they don't say anything about it. So they're just trusting that people will notice and go, what the fuck's going on there? So yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Did they have the shaved head after though? Like after that scene, everybody had normal hair again?
No, they had the shaved head throughout the whole thing. Yeah.
Did they?
Like they must have had to have kept that under wraps for any posts and stuff, and anything that, and if any of them that were on social or out and about, they probably had to keep that pretty quiet. But anyways, I love that bit, and I'm excited to see where that goes. There were a couple moments that hit really hard from a laugh, like that just made me laugh ridiculous. the Phillips, that's not Phillips, that's Phillips.
Oh yeah.
I burst out laughing at that. I'm like, I found that so ridiculous.
Yeah, it just goes further to show that Shoresy only cares about the sluts on that team. He doesn't care about any of the other players. He doesn't even know their names.
Yeah, that moment hit so hard for me. The preface thing, and the fact that it was Hitch, the one that was correcting him, made it even funnier to me. So that part hit hard. And the Vaughn team. Holy fuck! When the what are they? The Canadense or Canadense or whatever.
Canadese, yeah.
Canadese. When they introduced the lineup and panned along all their jerseys, I literally broke out laughing at, like, my wife was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, I couldn't stop. I thought it was so funny because anyone who knows Ontario, especially GTA, when you think of Vaughan, you think of Italians. Like that is 100% accurate.
I worked in Woodbridge, which is a suburb of Vaughan, for many years, and it's basically all Italians there. It's
all Italian.
It's crazy, yeah.
And then the namings were so spot on, so that just really hit hard for me. One interesting thing I took from this episode was Sanger and Meig's roles in the episode. To me, they played the same role, just on their separate sides. They were both sort of the voice of reason, the one saying, like, get your shit together, guys, we need to move on. Obviously Meig coaching the girls and Sanger coaching the guys. But to me, they played the exact same function in this episode on both sides of that bench. And I really liked that contrast there. So that I wanted to call as well. And the last thing, the Prince Edward Island Encyclopedia one, I like that. and I do vaguely remember those guys because I went and looked them up again. I'm like, yeah. They came out. What's interesting, and I wonder if there's a connection in terms of inspiration from that, because their original YouTube videos came out about a year before the Letterkenny problem stuff, right? And they have a similar sort of tone and approach to the style of Letterkenny and the sort of exaggerated version of the PEI, but of course Letterkenny does a small town Ontario. But I wonder if there's any inspiration from that and what drove that. Yes.
Well, in the live stream, awesome with the fun fact, Jared and Nathan Dale did a couple of shorts with the PEI dictionary guys. So yeah, they do know each other.
Yeah. So there we go. But yeah, all in all though, I really like the setup on this one. There's a lot to bite onto and a lot to look forward to. So
okay, Victor.
Wow. There was a lot in this first episode.
And longer episode too, 25 minutes, which is normally 19 minutes. So yes, bravo. Thank you. Kudos.
It felt like a full 30-minute episode to me. So Tanya, first of all, don't fret. I mean, the stories were all 100% hockey focused. So it was all about hockey. B, there was actually a lot of good hockey footage when they were introducing the teams. There was a lot of good hockey footage there, and the recap was done really, really, really well.
They told a lot of story in that. Yeah,
they sure did. And then that song, what was the song called? Blue.
It may come up later. It's called "Blues Run the Game" by Laura
Blues Run the Game. Yeah, that's so Joni Mitchell-esque, that song. It was so perfect. It was just fantastic. I loved it. I think the walking competition is one of the things that we love about these shows is they're so ridiculous, right? They come up with this. I mean, you take that away and you're taking away like the one of the organs of the whole universe, right? I mean, plus that's what gave us big sexies. I mean, get control of your bird. I mean, he was freaking out every time Sanguinet slammed the door. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed those scenes because they were just, it was ridiculous, but ridiculous in a good, fun way. The thing that I wasn't crazy about, and this is, I think, when we start to dissect the shows and start maybe putting more into it than maybe even the writers, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So this is a perfect example, right? So we get that back and forth, the chirping with Shoresy and the boys. And if Laura Moore saw that still, after all this time and after all the heart to hearts and him still acting like a little child and making fun of their moms. I mean, I don't think I think she wouldn't have it. Like she wouldn't be amused by it.
You're talking about with Corey and Liam? Those scenes? Okay.
Yeah. Like just think about now, right? We're now, she's with him. They've had heart to hearts. They've,
and other stuff to other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now, and after all of that, he's still acting like this, right? It's just, and again, I'm probably, you're not supposed to think about it this way, but I'm just saying, like, okay. And that's also taking us back to the Letterkenny universe where, he was a one-dimensional character, right?
Sure.
So that's the part, and I get it. They're throwing it in there because there are fans of that. So you want to just, you want to cover your bases. But that's the part that I kind of glossed over, and I was waiting for it to be over.
Sure.
But the rest of it was just fantastic. And a really great first episode.
All right. That's our Robbie in terms of how, when I said that scene, the walking competition is silly. Robbie says, Letterkenny, Shoresy being silly, clutch my pearls. Have you ever heard of the Polichettis? Yes, I know it's silly. It wasn't a negative thing. I was just saying it was silly. It was, like the tone of the rest of that episode, other than the Corey and Liam thing, was a little more serious, although funny, but more serious than the walking competition. Kat, what did you think of this?
I liked this episode. I think season premiere episodes can sometimes be a little dry because they have to kind of recap the previous season and then kind of go through some exposition. But I thought they did that really well. Kept it very entertaining. I loved the locker room scene where Shoresy is wailing, and we got us so dumb right off the bat. I love that. And the shaved heads. I was like, I wrote that down in my notes.
Did you notice it right away?
Yeah, I noticed it right away.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, there's 3 of them have shaved heads. What is going on? So that was a fun little mystery.
They all have shaved heads. I didn't even notice because I thought, well, at least Dolo still got the dreads. But if you look at Dolo, his head shaved around the bottom. Like he's got the dreads only on top now. So he committed to that too. So that's interesting.
Oh, was it? I looked for that. I did not see that.
Yeah, like he didn't have his shaved down the middle like everyone else. But look at his hairstyle. It's now he's got the side and back shaved. His dreads are only now coming out from the top.
Okay.
All right. What else did I write down? I loved Sanguina upsetting Big Sexy every time he slammed the door. I was glad we got some Big Sexy in this episode.
Yes, absolutely.
We didn't get any Laura Moore or Jory Jordan, but we got Big Sexy. So,
well, we can't have it all in the first episode, but
can't have it all.
Yeah.
And what else? The walking competition, the premise versus preface conversation was all great, and I loved the closing shot of the episode with that airborne bar stool. I thought was really cool.
Great, perfectly cut. Yeah.
Yes, and the music. I've had Blues Run the Game running through my head ever since I watched the episode.
Were you familiar with the song or artist before?
I wasn't previously, but
yeah, very cool. The ski poles joke was pretty
oh my god, I laughed so hard at that.
when Goody does the motion, like, oh, I get it. That's funny. Yeah.
I needed that because until I saw it, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't put that? You didn't know that was a joke?
No.
Never.
Learned so much on this show, like docking and ski poles.
It's debatable whether anything we learn is useful, but yes, you do learn so much. Amazing. All right. Let's move
going through the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, let's move on to ratings. Now, I know, hopefully you guys have noticed there's been some different sound effects and songs and stuff that I've used throughout.
Huh.
No? Okay. But I'm going to keep the rating the same because this is still the produce stand. And I went through everyone's kind of, suggestions, and none of them really fit. And I think it's still the produce stand. So I think we can still go with fresh, clearance, and compost. I think it still fits. So we'll stay with our rating system. So I'm going to start with you, Tanya. What do you give this episode? A fresh, clearance, or compost?
I'm sorry, my brain has stopped for a moment. Are we still calling it a unicorn, or are we going to call it a goal?
You're making it more complicated.
But that's my job.
You can't assign any. Just give me your rating: fresh, clearance, or compost. Then I'll tell you whether we have a unicorn.
Didn't you give an episode of Unicorn last season? You forced Al to push the button.
Sorry. So I will give this. I will give this. But I'm watching Victor.
You can do it.
I will give this clearance.
Are you trying to read Al?
No, I'm trying to remember what's in the middle. Clearance.
Clearance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any reason you just?
I think it's my mood, but I feel like it just didn't hit all the buttons for me.
Okay. All right. This one here. That's fine. My rating. My rating. Oh, blue spatula from Victor. Wow.
Not for the rating, for her reasoning.
Oh, okay. Matt, I completely agree with you. Meeg and Sanguinet were kind of the same side of the two sides of the same, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They were doing the same thing. She was doing it for the management. He was doing it for the team. I feel like Sanguinet grew a set big time at the end of last season and is just continuing to grow, and calling the sluts out this one here for being whiny bitches is perfect. And Meeg, she's not so much calling out Nat and Zeke. She's trying to keep them, give them perspective. Listen, yeah, I know this sucks, but we got to move on. Get ready for the tournament. Yeah, it feels like we don't deserve to be here, but we do deserve to be here. And now let's get ready for the fucking tournament. So she's all business. So I'm loving.
But that's nothing new for her. Like her and Meeg are like the two devils on your shoulders, right? And she's the good one,
for sure.
And Zeke's the bad one, right?
And I'm enjoying that kind of progression. And even Zeke in this one, I really enjoyed Zeke in this one. So you know what? I'm actually giving this one a fresh. I thought it was a solid episode. Probably the best episode 1 of Shoresy so far. Matt.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fresh. Is it the highest fresh ever? No, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great kickoff. A lot of what I've already talked about. The pacing I really enjoyed in this one too. So what I think, and what I'll use as an example is the family reunion scene back in season 1, where a lot of people felt that was a really long, drawn out scene. And there was some issue with that. To me, the walking scene, this one was similar to that, but what they did well here and actually made
they
me
had
enjoy
good pace.
They walking
but
pace. Yes, I see what you did there.
Here we go.
But they split it up. So they took 2 scenes and they cut them very nicely, so you didn't get bored of one. They didn't hang with one long enough. They just kind of
they jump back and forth between them and
the team intros and all
the
that.
management.
So I really enjoyed how they paced this one out. It kept me engaged. They introduced a lot. There's some character development. It gave me everything I want in a episode 1 of a new season. So it's an easy fresh.
Okay, Victor.
I don't think we even mentioned the bro dude scene.
Right? Yeah. Well, because it served the purpose of just kind of continuing the scouting report, right? And mentioning that bro dude is now an official. So we'll see what comes of that. But they're going to be.
And they were kind of making fun of the tournament too, like saying, Well,
RA kept on like, but does anyone really care? Yeah,
exactly.
He's very negative on the tournament.
Yeah.
It's weird
did you see RA getting some heat at the after the cup?
No, he got heat.
He posted, the Barstool posted one, and I don't know if it was a gag or what, but he was going around trying to congratulate Panthers on their win, and they're all like shunning him, like telling him to fuck off, and
what?
Said shoo him away, because I guess he's been all pro Oilers the whole series.
We're not talking about this episode, Tanya. Just
no. Oh yeah, this is real sports stuff.
Yeah, Matt's talking real sports here.
Anyways,
so Victor,
yes. So I mean, the stakes in this episode are very, very interesting, right? So they got rid of the nonsense, and now it's like, how are they even going to win? They're all injured.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like they're a bunch. Like it's not just a mindset thing. You guys are injured.
Yeah.
Like their turtles are injured. So how's it going to happen? So I mean, this episode really set the scene. They did a good job summing everything up, and again, setting the scene for the season. It's an easy fresh.
Some might even say set the tone for the season.
All right. Easy fresh. Kat, what do you give this one?
I give this one a fresh.
Okay.
I agree with Matt, not like the highest fresh ever, but like a solid middle of the road fresh.
Yeah, enjoyed
it. Really well done. I thought it was real, especially for a season opener. I thought it was great. It was funny. There was a lot of information, but they did it well. So it was easy to pick up on, and I just thought it was really well done.
Okay, perfect. So we have 4 freshes, 1 clearance. Game sticks. This is, used to be MVP. Now we're calling this the game stick. Who do you give the game stick to, Tanya?
Sanguinet.
Oh,
hands down.
Okay.
He was the one that pulled the team together and got them to put their heads on straight and made it happen for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love how he was getting so annoyed every time the sluts devolved into basically the negative self-talk. We're all a bunch of losers, and also all this the excuses they were giving. Oh, we've never seen a team so hurt as us, and this and that. I agree. Sanguinet in this one here, I think gets the game stick. I think he was definitely the stronger of all the characters. Matt?
Let's continue the trend because I agree, and it's Sanger for sure. The honorable mention is Meeg, of course, playing the counterpart, but Sanger was stronger. And then if I had to do a third little honorable mention, I give it to the stool at the end because I like to imagine that nailed Palmer, and that made me I was a happy little thought.
All right, okay, that's good. If I were to do top 3, I'd agree. Meeg is definitely second runner up, and Zieg, I really enjoyed Zieg in this one here, so third runner up. Victor.
Well, since Tanya ruined it, we're gonna have to reward our unicorn a different way. So we have to give it to Sanguinet. Easily, that speech he gave at the end was the key difference between him and Meeg, right? That's the he actually rallied the troops and he made them get their heads out of their asses and actually stand up for themselves in the final scene.
Wow.
Okay, and Victor's even holding.
That's the first rational MVP game stick I think Victor's ever given.
Matt, you gave it to a stool. You gave a runner up to a stool.
We have rebranded.
I had to do that only because of Tanya.
All right, yeah, he's holding up the unicorn. I will not be playing the unicorn sound clip because that's for ratings. But Kat, who do you give your stick to?
I will also give it to Sanguinet. For all the reasons everybody has already stated. But if I was going to give a runner-up, I think it would have to be for Goody, just for miming the ski poles. That just made me just about fall off the couch laughing.
Nice.
Goody had some great lines, like some very understated lines throughout this one as well. But
really good.
He always
especially
does.
For like the first season, his lines were mostly like "chicken is unbelievable," and now he's got.
I feel like a really underrated line from this episode is when somebody, I forget who it was, said Goody's got his arm in a sling and said, "It's not a sling, it's a holster." Like that's awesome. That's gold.
Holding the guns.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so those are our first ratings, and I gotta say, it's fun to be doing these again. Now, I am going to do a new set. Well, we've already heard this segment and one that I introduced a couple of weeks ago. So here we go with the new segment.
Questionable call.
And the questionable calls, I got 4 of them for us this week.
Wow.
Yeah. So I put the word out to the DGens in the Discord, and they came rolling in. So for those of you listening, if you want to participate, if you don't agree with our calls on one of our reviews, or you just want to say something, clear your chest on something, go to Instagram, follow us on Instagram at ProduceDamnPod, and then send us a DM. You can send a voice DM, and I will play it on our episode. As long as it's not hateful and wrong, we will play it. But here we go. We have some 4 questionable calls for this week. We'll start with this one here from Mike from New Jersey.
I've got a questionable call I would like to bring up to the produce stand. I'm sitting here on a beautiful midweek summer night in New Jersey, thinking about a cold winter's night back in Letterkenny when the episode The Sleepover took place. Now, I know we all love The Sleepover. So what is questionable about this is Victor's contempt for such a beautifully shot, beautifully acted, and simply beautiful episode. That's all. See ya.
So I wonder if Mike planned this to have the train in the background to get Victor to change his call on the
Victor's attention.
sleepover. He's holding up his New Jersey miniature Stanley Cup.
You're
Victor,
never going to live that one down, Victor.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say to Mike in your defense?
Yes. New Jersey has 3 Stanley Cups, and New York has 1 Stanley Cup since I've been alive. So there we go. So Mike lives in New Jersey, but he's a Rangers fan.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I got to say about that.
He lives next to a train station, apparently, though. Did you hear the train in the background?
I did.
All right. Here's another one. It may also be for Victor. Here we go.
I have a questionable call for you guys. And this is one that was not on the podcast, but it was when Victor came over to London for a business trip. And his questionable call is that the chips were not triple cooked. And that was questionable. Peace. Have fun.
That was our buddy Trollinger, who's in the UK. And Victor, you visited him during your last trip there.
I did.
What's this
They're
about?
the most ridiculous people in the world. They literally say they triple cook their chips. There's no way. I said, let me into the kitchen and show me how your chef triple cooks your fucking chips. There's no way that's happening.
Victor's going to start an international incident over chips.
Ain't no kitchen got time for that.
All right, here's our buddy Jeff from Maine with a questionable call.
Hey guys, your buddy Jeff here from Maine. Just want to say great job by Tobias last week for kicking out some awesome jams. Nice little eclectic mix. I got to throw up a blue spatula to Victor, though. What is the deal with you and grunge music? Grunge was something that I think a lot of people, especially teens in the 90s, really needed. It was a good little transition from the kind of hair metal glamour years to something a little bit grimier and a little bit more, I want to say, realistic. Just some awesome memories of grunge music and its origins. Why do you hate it so much, man? Why do you hate it? Peace and love, guys. Oh, and happy birthday, Victor.
It made musicians lazy. Oh, thank you. It made musicians lazy. That was my problem with it. You used to really practice, sit there for hours trying to practice your craft, learning how to play the songs, and then came along Nirvana and they ruined it all. And it took a while, but we're back, baby. Just go and listen to Extreme's new album.
All right. We may have to rebrand questionable call to take a shot at Victor. But anyway.
Do we have a unicorn on Victor here for the fourth one?
Well, we'll see about the fourth one. Let's listen to the fourth one. Here we go.
All right, Minnesota Scott here. I finished up season 3 last night, and I was once again absolutely floored by the work this team is able to do. Shoresy is an idea that turned from like a YouTube chirp machine to this incredibly developed, finely layered character whose passion and ruthlessness and honor instantly makes me think of Ian McShane's portrayal of Al Swearingen in Deadwood. As someone who's worked on stage, screen, or stream since 2008, this production feels like everything I'd want to be a part of. Small town stories, but so substantial, silly and crude, but so emotionally powerful, a close-knit family with a strong no assholes clause in the contract, which I'd never make it past. But my God, to just coil XLR cables or sort gels on set for a day, it sounds like a theme vacation, and I'm going to call a travel agent.
That's Scott from Minnesota. His coiling cords for a day for Letterkenny is kind of the equivalent of Shoresy saying he'd empty Laura Moore's dishwasher. I think he just loves them so much he wants to do menial tasks for them. But you can tell Scott has a background in radio and he's got the voice for it and certainly the microphone for it. But thank you, Scott, for comment. As you can hear, questionable calls can be about anything. It could be about Victor. It could be about any one of our special questionable calls, or it could just be about Letterkenny and or Shoresy in general. But keep them coming in. Again, at ProToSandPod on Instagram, and send us a voice DM and we will play it. So thank you, everyone. And thank you. Oh, I have one little piece of Shoresy news. They just announced today the 2 Shoresy Classic hockey games in Toronto and Boston sold out. They are completely sold out. So I'd like to take a little bit of credit for, the amazing radio ad we produced for them and then proceeded to run at the beginning of all of our shows. But anyway, that's great. And hopefully what that means that there's demand for this, and maybe they'll do other games in other cities, in North America. So that would be great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing to all those who bought tickets and are supporting this. And we can't wait to go to our game in Toronto in November. So thank you. And that's all I have for today. I'm going to go around the horn with final comments, and I'm going to start at the top again. Tanya.
Kat, thank you so much for coming out tonight. It was a pleasure meeting you. I loved listening to you. Victor, happy birthday. Just in case Matt forgets again, I'll say it again. Happy birthday, bud. I hope you had a fantastic time and have a great long weekend. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching Shoresy again and getting into the routine of this once a week. And let's see how it goes.
Yes, Kat.
Oh, and I'm sorry. My apologies. I think slow. I also wanted to say good job to Tate Webb for the intro. Thank you so much for that. That was absolutely perfection. I loved it. Mm-hmm. So
yes, it's well written. Thank you, Kat, for joining us. It was great to meet you finally. And I hope your first time on the podcast was fun. And I hope it's not your last time. I hope you join us for Ag Halls and another episode in the future. Yes, Tate Webb, great job on the cold open today. Hope you guys enjoyed the new kind of production. This is what we're going to roll with moving forward. I'm sure there'll be, changes and modifications as we go, but I hope you enjoyed it. And yes, keep those questionable calls. I'm having trouble speaking today, coming in, and we will play them. Matt.
We are back, baby. Season 3. Love it. This was so much fun. Happy birthday, Victor. I don't want to forget.
Oh, I forgot. Happy birthday, Victor.
That's my turn. So I love our review episodes. These are always some of my favorite things to do. So I'm so excited that we're back. Kat, such an absolute pleasure. I was so excited to meet you tonight, and you did not disappoint. Welcome to the family. And I can't wait to see whatever other tattoos you get. Your follow on Instagram has been such a blast. You're just an absolute delight. Thanks for coming out.
Victor.
Yes. So first, Tate Webb, a couple of beauties, just incredible. Al, you only had one job, but you did it well with the new branding and whatnot. So good on you. Though I feel like that's going to be a really long opening if we play that every episode.
No, the Tate Webb thing won't be every episode. Yes.
Wait, do I have to learn how to read haikus now?
Yes, you need to learn how to emphasize the 575. The Tate Webb are also rebranding to TW575 is what their new brand is.
Okay. Well, I'll dissect that. And Kat, you were delightful. It was such a pleasure. And the pros and cons of doing an episode like this, it's mostly focused on kind of going through the episode. And so we didn't really get a chance to really get in and to learn more about your tattoos and whatnot. But I'm definitely going to follow you on Instagram because I'm not big on the socials, as the community knows, but I'll definitely do that. And just before COVID, I was actually up in Austin on a business trip. And it was really nice, except for the scooters that were literally everywhere, including in the water and stuff like that. I don't know what the hell's going on with you guys, but treat your scooters with a little more respect is all I'm saying. But the barbecue was incredible. Anyway, would love for you to join future shows and definitely come out to all of the egg calls.
All right, and Kat.
My goodness, this has been so much fun. Thanks for having me on. I'm honored to have been the first person to get the new little intro clip. That was really cool. And I got to see the blue spatula and I got to see the unicorn.
There you go.
It's been amazing. I hope I will be on again. This has been great. And it was nice meeting all of you. And Tanya, I hope your foot gets better. Al, I hope you stay out of the ER.
Oh, thank you.
Victor, good luck with the new AC. And Matt, I hope your son learns to be more stealthy in his internet searches.
He's got to learn the
incognito mode.
Incognito mode.
Oh boy.
Well done. I also want to wish all our Canadian listeners a happy Canada Day. That's this weekend. And next week, our friends to the south, a happy July 4th. I'm going to play us off now here with the song from today's episode, Blues Run the Game by Laura Marling.
Got your boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I've gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues run the game. Send out for whiskey, baby, send out for gin. Me and room service, honey, me and room service.
That's all we have for this episode. Next week, we recap and review episode 2 of Shoresy 3, Charlottetown Reds, with our buddy PJ. Production note on that one, because next Thursday is July 4th, we're going to push our episode to the Friday, July 5th. I hope that doesn't cause any issues, but or else our American friends probably won't join us because they'll be too busy watching fireworks. So that'll be next Friday. If you'd like to support the podcast, become a patron or tell a friend. Also follow us on most social media outlets at ProduceandPod. Thank you for joining us. Now we're going to the after party with our new friend Kat. On behalf of Kat, Tanya, Matt, Victor, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
Come following round. Living is a gamble, baby.